I always imagined my grandmother's later years filled with laughter, her sharp wit, and endless stories about her childhood in the countryside. She was the keeper of our family's history, the one who could recount every detail of my mother's first steps, or the time my uncle accidentally set the barn on fire. But life doesn't always follow the script we write in our heads. When my grandmother was diagnosed with dementia, those stories began to fade, like pages torn from a book. At first, it felt like we were losing her, piece by piece. The woman who'd been the heart of our family was slipping away, and I didn't know how to hold on. Society often paints memory loss as a tragedy, a slow erasure of identity, a disconnection from those we love. And I won't lie, there were moments of heartbreak. But what I didn't expect was that in losing her memories, my grandmother would become my greatest teacher. Her journey through dementia didn't just take away, it gave me lessons about life, love, and what truly matters. This isn't a story of decline, but of discovery, of the profound wisdom that emerged when the past faded and the present came into sharp focus. Today, I'm sharing the lessons my grandmother taught me, not through her words, but through her presence, her resilience, and her unintentional clarity. These are lessons that changed how I see life, and I believe they can resonate with you too. Whether you're navigating your own uncharted 40s or simply seeking meaning in life's challenges, join me as we uncover the unexpected gifts hidden in my grandmother's journey. Lesson 1: the profound peace of the present moment. I used to think living in the moment was just a catchy phrase, something you'd see on a motivational poster, but my grandmother showed me it's a way of being. As her memories of the past grew hazy, she stopped dwelling on old regrets or worrying about what tomorrow might bring. Instead, she was wholly, beautifully present. One afternoon, I found her sitting on her porch, watching a sparrow hop across the grass. She didn't know what day it was or what she'd had for breakfast, but she smiled with a kind of serenity I'd never seen before. "Look at that little bird," she said, her voice soft but full of wonder. "Isn't it just perfect?" That moment stopped me in my tracks. I was so used to racing through life, planning, stressing, replaying mistakes, that I'd forgotten how to see the world. My grandmother, unburdened by the weight of the past or future, was free to find joy in the smallest things. It wasn't denial, it was peace. She wasn't fighting to hold on to what was gone. She was embracing what was right in front of her. This shifted something in me. I realized how much of my own anxiety came from chasing shadows, worrying about things I couldn't control or regrets I couldn't change. My grandmother's unintended gift was showing me that peace isn't found in fixing everything. It's in letting go and being fully where you are. For you, this might mean pausing to notice the warmth of your coffee cup, the sound of your child's laughter, or the quiet beauty of a rainy day. How often do we let the present slip by because we're too busy looking backward or forward? Lesson 2: the true meaning of connection beyond words. My grandmother was always a talker. Family dinners were filled with her stories, her laughter, her quick comebacks. So when words started to fail her, I feared we'd lose our connection. How do you stay close to someone when the shared memories that bound you start to unravel? But one evening, as we sat together in silence, she reached for my hand. Her grip was firm, her eyes warm, and in that moment, I felt more connected to her than ever. No stories, no words, just her presence, steady and sure. That's when I learned that love doesn't live in words or memories alone. It's in the quiet moments, the shared glances, the simple act of being together. I started to notice how she'd light up when I brought her favorite flowers or played her old jazz records. Even when she couldn't name the song, her foot would tap and her smile would say everything. Our connection didn't fade. It transformed. This lesson hit me hard. How often do we measure relationships by what's said or remembered? My grandmother taught me that love is deeper than that. It's in the feeling, the presence, the unspoken understanding. For you, this might mean sitting with a friend without needing to fill the silence, or finding comfort in just being near someone you care about. Connection isn't about perfection, it's about showing up. Lesson 3. The untapped joy in simple things. As my grandmother's world grew smaller, I noticed something remarkable. Her capacity for joy didn't shrink. If anything, it grew. Things I'd overlooked, sipping tea, feeling the sun on her face, or flipping through a photo album, became sources of deep contentment. One day, I brought her a slice of lemon cake, her favorite from childhood. She couldn't recall why she loved it, but her eyes sparkled as she took a bite. "This is heaven," she said, and for that moment, it truly was. I'd always thought joy came from big moments, promotions, vacations, grand achievements. But my grandmother showed me that happiness can live in the smallest things. She wasn't chasing milestones or status. She was savoring what was right there. It made me rethink my own life. How much time had I spent chasing more while ignoring the simple pleasures already around me? This lesson is one we can all carry. Maybe it's taking a walk and noticing the leaves rustle, or savoring a quiet moment with a loved one. My grandmother's joy wasn't tied to complexity. It was rooted in simplicity. What small thing could bring you joy today if you let it? Lesson 4. The unyielding strength of the spirit. Dementia is relentless, but so was my grandmother's spirit. Even as her memory faded, her essence, her kindness, her humor, her stubborn streak remained. One morning, when a nurse tried to help her with something she wanted to do herself, she waved them off with a playful glare and said, "I've got this." And she did. Whether it was buttoning her sweater or insisting on watering her plants, she held on to her independence with a quiet fierceness. Watching her, I realized strength isn't just about physical ability or mental sharpness. It's about who you are at your core, the part of you that persists no matter what life throws your way. My grandmother's spirit didn't bend under the weight of her condition. It shone brighter because of it. This taught me to look for strength in myself and others, not in what we can do, but in who we choose to be. For you, this might mean recognizing your own resilience in tough times or seeing the enduring spirit in someone you love. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about showing up, day after day, with courage and heart. Lesson 5. What truly matters when everything else fades. Perhaps the greatest lesson my grandmother taught me was about priorities. As her world simplified, so did her focus. She didn't care about old grudges, unpaid bills, or what people thought of her. What mattered was love, comfort, and the people around her. One day as we sat together, she looked at me and said, "You're here. That's enough." Those words stayed with me. In a life stripped of complexity, she saw clearly what made it meaningful. This was a wake-up call. How much of my energy was spent on things that, in the end, wouldn't matter? My grandmother's clarity forced me to ask, what truly makes my life rich? For her, it was connection, kindness, and moments of joy. For me, it meant prioritizing time with loved ones, pursuing what lights me up, and letting go of what doesn't serve me. This is a question for all of us. When everything else fades, what will you hold on to? What can you prioritize today to make your life feel fuller, more meaningful? My grandmother's journey with memory loss wasn't the story I expected. It was filled with challenges, yes, but also with profound lessons that reshaped how I see the world. She taught me to find peace in the present, to connect beyond words, to savor simple joys, to recognize unyielding strength, and to focus on what truly matters. Her fading memories didn't diminish her. They revealed her essence in a way I might never have seen otherwise. This experience changed me. It reminded me that even in life's hardest seasons, there's wisdom to be found. My grandmother's journey wasn't just about loss. It was about showing me how to live more fully, more intentionally, right now. So I ask you, what lessons have you learned from the unexpected moments in your life? How can you choose presence, connection, or simplicity today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if this resonated with you, consider subscribing to Uncharted 40s for more stories about finding meaning in life's twists and turns as we grow older. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Here's to living with clarity, courage, and a little more heart.